And now we have a special word from our newly re-elected mayor, Chris.
Well, thank you very much. You get to go a lot of different things when you're mayor. And it's always a pleasure because it's always just wonderful to see and learn about what folks are doing in the community, how they are meeting people and enjoying each other's and time together and expressing themselves. And really, this one, I'm just so delighted to be here. As some of you folks may know, I do have a theater background. I have been in UMGASS shows before. I had the tremendous pleasure to be a night. Oh, good. I thought I was running the risk of there being photos behind me. I was in the show in 1986 in the Olympic Guard. I think I rolled back in with the Olympic Guard with Fairfax this time, back in the aughts, and I was Edwin in Trial by Jury. And Gilbert and Sullivan has been such an important part of my formative years, life growing up, with Iolanthe, Mikado, and so forth, and Patience and such. But I do want, aside from that, and aside from the love of the art and the music and the cleverness, I do just want to talk a little bit about the Fellowship of the Theater and what a wonderful thing that is. People who come together to express and make music and laugh and work and build sets and direct and do all the incredibly important things that goes into a show. Costumes, makeup, I'm forgetting something, but it's such a community effort, and it's such an opportunity for people to work together on a project of common purpose that is just all the good. And so I just want to, thank you for the work that you've done together, and honor the joy that you've built here. And one of the cool things that you get to do when you're mayor is you get to proclaim things. And so I do have this proclamation. You want to come on and receive the proclamation? All right, yes, of course. And so this, it's shortish, and so I'll read it, but it's a proclamation in recognition of 75 years of the University of Michigan Gilbert and Sullivan Society. It says things to the effect of, whereas University of Michigan Gilbert and Sullivan Society, known to the community as UMGASS, has been founded in 1947 to bring the music, characters, and stories of Gilbert and Sullivan operettas to Ann Arbor. Whereas since its founding, UMGASS has consistently presented high-quality productions to new generations of the Ann Arbor community. Whereas UMGASS productions have been an integral part of the musical and theatrical environment of Ann Arbor and involved members of the university, the Ann Arbor community, their sisters and cousins and aunts in all aspects of their productions. Whereas UMGASS has provided performance opportunities for a large body of talent available within the university and Ann Arbor community. Now, therefore, I, Christopher Taylor, Mayor of Ann Arbor, Michigan, recognize the University of Michigan Gilbert and Sullivan Society for its 75 years of bringing music, camaraderie, and joy to the Ann Arbor community, and to wish them every continued success. Loudly let the trumpets pray. Thanks very much.
I'm going to put this in my drawer now. I got other stuff in there too. Okay, thank you so much, Chris. I mean, I was on a show with you, and it's really one of the things that's been so great for me this weekend is that I'm seeing so many people I already know, which which is wonderful. But I'm also meeting people that I've heard about for years. And to see your faces here, that you took the effort to come, is really special for me. I know I won't get to talk to all of you, but come and grab me. I really do want to. So, talked about things besides, you know, do we have enough food and where are the microphones and stuff. So proceeding on, we selected a number of songs that you thought you might hearing from the show. None is from Pirates because that's our current show. We will be singing Cat Like Tread, though, because who could resist that? And so for our first performance, we have Julie Tangway and John Kelly singing I Was Once a Very Abandoned Person from Ruttigore. And then following that, Claire Divizzi will add to them to sing the Matter song, also from Ruttigore. So, ladies and gentlemen, please approach the bench.
I once was a very abandoned person.
Making the most of evil chances.
Nobody could conceive a worse one.
Even in all the old romances.
I blush at my mild extravagances. But be so kind to bear in mind
We were the victims of circumstances. Our blameless dances. Once an experienced odd young lady.
suffering much from spleen and vapors.
Clergymen thought my conduct shady.
She didn't spend much upon linen drapers.
It certainly entertained the gapers. My ways were strange beyond all range.
Paragraphs got into all the papers. We only cut respectable capers. I've given up all of my wild proceedings.
My taste for a wandering life is waning.
Now I'm a dab at penny readings.
They are not remarkably entertaining.
A moderate livelihood we're gaining.
Fact, we rule a national school.
Duties are dull, but I'm not complaining. This sort of thing takes a deal of training. Oh.
Is he gone?
My eyes are fully open to my awful situation. I shall tell him I've recovered my forgotten moral senses, and I don't think he will save me for any consequence. I do not want to perish by the sword, by the dagger, but a martyr may indulge a little pardonable swagger with anything that compliment my good dragon. But I die tomorrow, so it really doesn't matter.
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 So it really doesn't matter. So it really doesn't matter. Matter.
I'm not a little bad and generally silly. I but how to grapple with the question, and you really are so. Does your write your almost valuable, notable of excellent suggestions when I feel a little better? The presence I'm a
So, how many of you have been in just one show? Ooh, cool. How about two? How about two? 3, 4, yeah, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 8, you know where I'm going with this, 9, 10, 11, anybody in 11, 12, 13, David Goldberg, 14, 15, 14, 15. I know some of you have been in a lot more, so 16, I'm going to go through. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Anybody even know? Did you stop counting? You got 22, 23, 24, 25. Yay! 26. Amanda. 27. 28. 29. 30. Matt. Woo, Julie. All right. 31. 32. 33, 34, 35, 36. I might be in there somewhere just awesome. 37, 38, 39. Yay, Beth. 40, 41. 42, 43, 44, 45. Yay! Mary Locker, close enough, right? What? Okay, that's good enough. I was 46 now, 47. 48, 49, David Zen. Okay, 50. Is there anybody that hasn't? Oh, Dan Allen! Woo! And Tam, Lori, and Alan, you're all 50. So should I keep counting? Who has it? Okay, 51. Lori, yay. 52. 53. 54. 55. Have I left anybody out? Should I keep going? Oh, David, yeah, well, I'm just going to count by, I'm going to count by decades for you. Yeah, so we'll go straight to 100 for David Goldberg because he's done more than 100 shows. Okay, so how many of you have many of you have actually been in Pirates? In Pirates. Oh, yeah. How many of you are pirates? Yeah, mostly men standing up. What about Pinafore? All right. Mikado? Twice. I'm sure more than once. Gondoliers? Grand Duke? Actually, I've been in a bunch of these too. Patience? Princess Ida? Sorcerer? That was a dancing demon. Utopia. So how many? That's a rare breed who've been in Utopia. Yeoman, Iolanthe, Ruttigore, Trial by Jury, Cox and Box. All right, I think that's everything. Has anybody been in Thespis? Maybe I should ask that. No. We just discovered the orchestral accompaniment by Jerry Billick. Carl had them secreted away in his storage unit, and so we're really happy to have those back, and I think we may be able to put it back in production, because that's the only score we know of. And Jerry Billick was one of our, UMGASSers, so it's really exciting to know about that. Okay, a few more questions. How many people have done the whole canon, every single show? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. David, you too. You must have 11. Oh, yeah, except for Thespis, 11. So that's an amazing accomplishment. That's one of the things UMGASS is known for, is doing every show. So you were to be proud. Okay, how many people have been a director, an artistic director? A music director. Raise your hand, Ezra. And how many people have been performers? Everybody's been performers, but some people have just been in prod, so how many people have just done prod staff? Yeah, a smaller number. But without you prod staff, there would be no show, so thank you very much. Okay. Has anybody here been in the orchestra? All right. Yay. Okay. How about faculty advisors? Faculty advisors. On the UMGASS board. All right. Good for you. The FUMGASS board. All right, I think that's all we need to know. Thank you all for sharing that. That's really great to, just see how much people have done over the years. Okay, just so a quick reminder, because we're talking about memories, on each table there should be some blank pieces of paper, and we hope you take a couple to write a treasured memory, and there will be a shoebox out on the entry tables when you come in. I hope it's out there still. And so put stuff on there. Don't stint on verisimilitude. We want funky as well as fun. And if you don't have time to create your deathless prose, send something to fumgassexec@umich.edu. Okay, now for our rousing edition of Cat-Like Tread, which is in page 62 of your songbooks. Does everyone have access to a songbook? If not, we can bring some in. Sorry, can't read my own writing. Okay, page 82. Does everybody have a songbook? It's not going to be up. Oh, yeah, I think it is up there. Fred? Is it up here? Is Cat Like Tread up here? Okay, great. Okay, take it away, Ezra. I have to say that one of the best experiences I had was in the 2017 Pirates when I got to be a pirate, and it was pretty great. Yep, yep. Okay, up next we have Claire, Mitch, and Chris for I'm a Maiden from Princess Ida, and then Allie Roselle for The World is But a Broken Toy, also from Ida.
I am the maiden, cold and stately, heartless I
Thank you. That was lovely. Woo. All right. Tonight, well, UMGASS is privileged to have been the beneficiary of many people who have given more than a full measure to helping the society thrive. We want to honor some of them today. When we decided to do this, we ended up with a long list of people who we considered worthy of recognition. And it was very hard to choose. But this is round one. There will be other future honorees, so because so many of you have given so much. So we focused on those for this first time who've advanced the society in a meaningful way, not just a count of the number of shows they've been in, but who made contributions in other ways. And I note that we have full bios and programs in the program packet before you with more detail on each honoree. And so I will therefore just make brief statements about each and leave you to read the rest. Now, I had thought to invite you to come up and, let me put my arm around you or whatever, but if that's okay, I'm going to read a little bit, and then if you could come up, except for Cynthia, who gets to stay put because she's hurt herself, not of her own will, So anyway, first off, I'm going to honor people who are no longer here, and that's Harry and Betty Benford. For almost 50 years, the two of them had a profound influence on UMGASS. Harry's enthusiasm for all things UMGASS elevated UMGASS's reputation globally, and he rescued UMGASS from financial disaster. He was a founding member of UMGASS in 1969 and helped provide a cushion against future financial concerns. He started the UMGASS newsletter, The Gas Bag. He wrote The Pudding Full of Plums, The Lexicon, and the two of them were ever present at rehearsals, social functions, and helped out where they were needed. They were just a warm and welcoming presence for generations of UMGASSers. So just taking a moment to think about them. I note that Harry's second wife, Kathy, is still alive. She wasn't able to come this evening, but she also, when after Betty died, it was wonderful to see Harry perk up with the lovely, lovely person that she is. So, okay, Anne Carell joined her husband because her husband was in the cast, Anne and Jean Carell. Her talents as a seamstress were quickly recognized, and she went on to costume 35 shows. But the thing that made her stand out was that she dramatically improved the quality and quantity of the costuming, transitioning away from rental and, kind of thrown together things to really creating a costume collection worthy of reusing in future performances. Tonight, her daughter Lisa, who worked on costumes as a child, and I discovered was in the 1967 Mikado, is here to accept the reward on behalf of her mother, who's unable to attend today. I am presenting you with this rose window plate that we had specially made for all the honorees. Thank you.
Parkinson's. She no longer does costumes, but this was probably the joy of her life, was being in Gilbert and Son and part of the society. So thank you all. Thank you all for this. She will be very...
Next, we have Don Devine. Don joined the organization in 1986 and has been active in virtually every UMGASS role except, I believe, being on the UMGASS board, but I could be corrected if that's incorrect. Where is Don? Oh, there you are. Okay, hiding behind Claire. Okay. He was a veteran of 35 shows. He worked backstage, crew, lighting, the pretty committee, and he is the quintessential cozy corner salesman, including for this show. So most significantly, he was a member of the UMGASS board for 23 years and president for 15, helping put that organization on a sound financial footing. As the new president, I'm very grateful for his mentorship. So Don, if you would come up.
Thanks, folks.
Well deserved. I need to point out that I've been in several shows with Don as my partner, and he is hilarious on stage. He was always bringing a whole new set of jokes for every performance, which would keep me laughing at the appropriate time and sometimes at the not appropriate times. So, okay, next we have Marilyn Gwynn. Marilyn joined UMGASS. When she had joined us, we acquired somebody proficient in two professions, costuming and photography. Marilyn's meticulous historical research and outstanding construction skills have resulted in a costume collection that is not only beautiful, but has stood up to the test of 52 shows and whose artistic vision provides a cohesive whole to the look of each production. In addition, she has taken hundreds of high quality and engaging photos of each production and backstage and rehearsals and all that stuff, which are now in our photo archive and from which I drew heavily for the memory room. And I have to tell you, it was a long slog because I couldn't choose. Oh my gosh, here's another great shot. Oh great, here's another good one. Who can I leave out? So anyway, thank you, Marilyn. Starting in 2000, our photographic collection is amazing. So Marilyn, please come right up. Thank you so much, my dear.
I would like to thank UMGASS very much for their support, both from a business standpoint and from financially, because last year we were able to acquire, I don't know how many costumes from Tracy Theatrical when they went under because of COVID. We had rented uniforms from them for years, and when the owner decided she could no longer keep her business afloat, she contacted me and said, would you like to purchase these? And she gave them to us for a very, very reasonable price. I went to Bryn and said, what do you think? And she said, choose what you need and we'll figure out the rest. It resulted in like 150 costumes. We moved everything to a new facility that is clean and air conditioned and wonderful. And it's all because of UMGASS and their unquestionable support of what we do as the Gilbert and Sullivan Society. Thank you.
So I forgot to mention about the Tracy collection. Yeah, it's amazing. And we have, when we are next able to put on Mikado, we have enough different costumes for about 5 shows. It's an amazing collection, and they're beautiful and sturdy. Okay, our next honoree is Steve Kroenke, who could not be here with us tonight. He pretty much exemplifies, I haven't met him, I hear fantastic things about him, but he pretty much exemplifies the qualities that UMGASS brings out in someone. He embraced the society in every imaginable way, on stage, production staff, on the boards. Best of all, UMGASS showed him his vocation. His tribute to UMGASS in the program bios, which I included in its entirety, says more than I ever could about what UMGASS means to all of us. So I'll be sending him his plate. All right, Mary Locker, another one who simply embraced UMGASS and made it her own. Notably, her involvement included everything from directing to box office to both boards, but she was equally happy being in the chorus. UMGASS brought out her creative soul, and she thrived and enhanced the society in absolutely every way. I'm so pleased to be meeting you for the first time, Mary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just want to say how much so many people in this room have meant to me over the years. it is a family, and it has been a joy to be part of this for so long. And if you'll indulge me for just a minute, I also want to say thanks to just a few people who aren't here anymore. I won't get everybody because there are people whose passing I'm not aware of, but I'd like to start with Jim Drew, who, although he had a very short tenure here, was a lovely patter lead, and who was the first person, a director, to convince the executive board that Grand Duke should and could be staged. When I first did Gondoliers, the Marco was a gorgeous man named Jim Bryant who had the voice of an angel and a soul to match. He was one of the kindest people I've ever met and was so indicative of the kind of people that I would continue to meet throughout the years in the society. And then there was Jimmy Pizzotti, who was an absolute firecracker of a human being, an extraordinarily inventive choreographer. I stole from him shamefully over the years. The man was walking joy. My partner in crime on the executive board for many years, Joe Beitel, the Swiss Army knife of the society. If there was something that needed to be done, fixed, researched, mended, looked into, Joe was the one who did it. And then there's Bev Pooley. Bev Pooley was perhaps the most incredible actor who walked on the Mendelssohn stage, although he didn't just walk, he strutted, and he pranced, and he cavorted, and he danced, and he posed. John Alexander and John Kelly both do extraordinarily good Bev Pooleys. I'd have them do that for you before you leave tonight. His comic timing was so incredible that every show he was in raised the bar, and the rest of us scrambled to try to get up to that level on stage. I would be remiss if I didn't say something about the spark plug that started it all, Gloria Benish. She was the founder, and she wore that mantle, I think, with great pride, but also with a lot of humility. And you've already acknowledged Harry and Betty, who mentored me, as they did everybody, who were there for support. And they shared their wisdom, and they shared their home, and they shared their lives. I am so thankful to all of those people. I have to believe that they're here being so proud of the society reaching its 75th year and so happy that it's in such good hands. Thank you.
I'm just in awe of all that everybody has brought here tonight, and about people that I've heard about but will never know. You know, Mitch has put together a video of many of the earlier shows, but we don't have them going back all the way. And so knowing that all of you help keep these memories alive is really important. All right, Cynthia and Laura, I'm kind of talking about you at the same time. I hope you don't mind, because we sort of think of you together, and I think that that feeling is mutual, even though you came quite far apart. Cynthia was actually started out in costumes in 1980, where her artistic sense and painting skills brought a particularly lovely look to many shows. And she performed many other prod staff tasks as well. But when she gravitated to working on designing sets, first with David Zen and then with co-designer Laura Stroh, a new era in gorgeousness was born. I really think that's the right word. And Laura, a professional artist, joined UMGASS in '99, and again under the tutelage of Cynthia and David, learned the ins and outs of set design. And it's her models that are on display up in the memory room. So please, if you have, after this, the memory room will be open for a while, about the overlapping some with the sing-along after tonight's show. And immediately after the banquet, the memory room will be open. So please come up and look at everything, because the room is packed. So anyway, you'll see some of her sets there. So Cynthia and Laura have sort of dominated UMGASS set design and painting for about 20 years, and every set seems more beautiful than the last. They have also managed this, I might add, with the restriction of reduced budgets in recent years, so it's especially impressive. So I thank you so much, guys. We just love what you do.
I think I'm talking for both of us, but I'm going to quote Cynthia, who said, "This is so much fun, it ought to be illegal."
So, Julie Tangway, who I met tonight for the first time, and she agreed to perform kind of last minute because Jane Schoonmaker Rogers was called away. Her mother, 92-year-old mother in Syracuse, New York, fell and she had to go. So Julie stepped up, as she has done so many times in the past, and yep. You can stand here while I'm reading. So I called you a Jill of all trades, as you contributed musical, organizational, and artistic talent to the great benefit of UMGASS. You caught the GNS bug as a child, brought your enthusiasm and talents to UMGASS for more than 2 decades and 30 shows, designing posters, singing on stage, on the UMGASS and FUMGASS boards, and directing. I'm sure I've left something out. We were happy to welcome her today on the stage again. Thank you.
Some of us gave a lot of time and creativity in our youth, and I was just very surprised and delighted that somebody remembered. So, thanks.
Last but not least, we're moving on to the Zins. There are 3. Margie. Where's my page on Margie? This has happened 3 times. This has happened 3 times over this. Okay, I'm going to speak extemporaneously. Margie has been done also so much. She's been on the boards, she has directed, she has choreographed, she brought her dancing skills and her youthful enthusiasm to the shows, and has just been a wonderful mentor to me on the board. I am in awe of her energy, and she planned the banquet, the cocktail party, the afterglow, and the sing-along. Without her tremendous entertaining skills, I would have been in the soup. So, Margie, my apologies.
Oh my gosh, this is such a thrill, and I remember standing up here for the 50th, and I had said initially, I am not planning another anniversary celebration with this organization because it's so much work. So big applause to Bryn, everybody. Really. It really is a huge undertaking, but we had a great committee. I was trying to think of, some things to say. Of course, Mary Locker made me cry, so I'm still a little verklempt after Mary's remarks because they were just beautiful. But it truly is a family, and I think this plate is kind of representative because certainly UMGASS and has served me well in my life, given me so many great memories like we all have, and I love continuing to serve this great organization. I'm so immensely humbled by this. I can't even tell you. And now I'm going to cry, so I'll put this down. But I hope you're enjoying the food. I hope there's enough food, my biggest worry. And I'll see you all at the sing-along for desserts. Okay.
Okay, that was really embarrassing. It's really 3 times I have forgotten Margie for something about this. It's like, and we work together like every day, so I don't know what the problem is. Okay, the Zins, the 3 Zins. So I'm going to start with David. And David cast me in my first show in 2001 in Grand Duke. I auditioned very nervously, and I didn't get in, but thankfully, a couple people dropped out, and he cast me, and it has been just the most wonderful experience. So thank you, David, from my heart to you. I wouldn't be here without you. So, okay, so superlatives come immediately to mind when we think of David. His modest demeanor hides a man of tremendous talent, recognized by all who work with him on stage and off. His offbeat sense of humor influenced his artistry on posters, programs, and sets, his acting style, and also put actors at ease when he directed. No job was outside of his thoughtful research. 49 shows, that pretty much says it all. Consecutive shows. Please make a note of that. Yeah. Carl and Ann, sure, they're David's parents, but that's not all. With a well-established love of theater and GNS, they followed David to UMGASS and became UMGASS parents when they took over as faculty advisors from Harry and Betty Benford. Carl devoted many hours to mentoring the UMGASS board, attending most meetings, and providing gentle guidance to countless students new to theatrical production and positions of authority. Ann's gentle spirit provided endless support for Carl, David, and cast and prod staff members. Time and again, she stepped up when an extra hand was needed at Cozy Corner, painting sets and doing, whatever was needed. So they have both become dear friends, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
For taking her to the first production of UMGASS in 1947. I'll thank my father. I was 2 years younger than Ann at the time. She was 10. I was 8 when my father took me to a production of Pirates. Oh, and we have to thank David because that's what's got us really fully involved.
The Zins, all 3. I didn't give you a chance, sorry.
I don't really know what to say, but I feel like I have to thank some people. In case it wasn't already clear in that comment, I have to thank my parents for taking me to a production of Pirates when I was in 2nd grade, which was sneaky because there were pirates, and that's kind of an irresistible thing at that age. I need to thank, I think, Steve Kroenke, who saw that I was obsessively doodling on the cover of my score during my first production of Ruthergore because I was terrified, because I was obsessively, painfully shy, and hadn't realized, although I was prepared to wear makeup and go on stage and make a fool of myself, I was not comfortable making conversation with people in the rehearsal room. It was terrifying. And so to avoid eye contact, I was drawing all over the front of my libretto, hoping no one would talk to me. And it was Steve Kroenke, I believe, who approached me, which was not easy because I was, said, we need a poster for this show. We thought maybe you could design a poster. And I said, no, I can't, no, thank no. And he said, well, then could we just have that when you're done with it? And then I went on to do that for a living. So I owe a huge amount to UMGASS because I didn't go to art school. I just doodled in rehearsal. And it was essentially the same thing. I also need to thank a lot of directors, including Mary, for having pulled me out of the back of the chorus where I was singing the same note for pages and pages and pages at a time, and teaching me the value of making a fool of myself in public, which is also now kind of my job. And also just UMGASS in general, because after they've told you that you can be a pirate king and a sorcerer and a judge and a Lord Chancellor and some guy's dead ancestor, you really walk away with the feeling that there's nothing you can't do. And that has been a very useful thing in my life. So thank you all very much for giving me that.
Thank you to all of you for everything you've done for us, and we hope we have given you almost as much. So, well, now we are going on, nearing the end, we're going on to a performance with Allie, John Roselle, Kristen Danko, and Robbie Griswold, who will be singing Brightly Dawn's, Our Wedding Day from the Mikado. Oh, right. I did this morning. I did get a full night's sleep, but never mind. Robbie and Alexis will perform None Shall Part Us from Iolanthe, and I can't wait.
None shall part us from each other. One in life and death are we. One
moved over too many pages. Sorry, everybody. Okay, and next we have Jeffrey Willits singing a tenor of All Singers Above, which I'm sure many of you would agree with, and those altos, maybe not so much.
Sarah, my beloved one, bear with me. Ah, do not laugh at my attempted sin. Repent not, mocking maid, thy girlhood's choice. The fervor of my love. A tenor all singers above, this does not admit of the question. Should keep himself quiet, attend to his diet, and carefully nurse his digestion. But when he is madly in love, it's certain to tell in his singing. You can't do chromatics with proper emphatics when anguish or bosom is ringing. When distracted by worries aplenty, and this pulse is 120, and his fluttering bosom, the slave of mistrust, is a tenor can't do himself justice. Now observe. Oh! There! You see I can do myself justice. Sing if my fervor were mock, it's easy enough when one's acting. But when one's emotion is born of devotion, one mustn't be over-exacting. One ought to be firm as a rock to venture a shaken vibrato. When fervor's expected, keep cool and collected, and never attempt agitato. But of course, when this tongue is of leather, and these lips appear pasted together, and his delicate palate's as dry as a crust, is a tenor can't do himself justice. Now observe. You see, I can do myself justice.
Jeffrey. So now a little more audience participation. We would like to know how UMGASS has influenced your lives. We hear a lot. Yes, okay. Just checking. This is being live streamed, by the way. And what you've done both personally and professionally. So, same system, raise your hands. So how many people still live in Ann Arbor? Great. So a lot of you have come from out of town. That is fantastic. I know somebody came from Virginia. What's the farthest? Seattle, that's right. Dan Zekalev is from Seattle. I think you win, Dan. Thank you. And so now who is still performing professionally? Right. Yay. 3. It's a smaller number than I would have thought. How about people doing arts administration? Yep. Okay. Is anybody teaching music? Jeffrey, great. So what do you do? Is there anything you don't do, Claire? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Directing shows. Eric Gibson in the back row. So how many people here have had an UMGASS showmance where they got, who met and married? Famously, the Rosells over there on stage, thanks to John's imaginative proposal. Is anyone part of a multi-generational family? I know Beth Shippey had to leave, and there's a bunch of them, and of course the Zins have done that. But is anybody else part of a multi-generational family? The Rosells, right? Because Rich. How about people teaching your kids about Gilbert and Sullivan? Are you stepping up so they'll come and be part of UMGASS? Okay. How about lifelong friendships? How many of you have had lifelong friendships from UMGASS? Yeah, I figured that would be a big group. How many people are performing GNS outside of UMGASS? So now still doing GNS? All right. How many of you are FUMGASS members? How many of you are still coming to UMGASS shows regularly? Yeah, smaller number because so many of you come from out of town. And how many of you are still performing GNS? Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much for doing that, and we hope that it continue on with your lives in GNS. So, and now, finally, Allie and John Roselle, Kristen Danko, and Robbie Griswold will sing "Brightly Dawns Our Wedding Day" from Mikado.
Brightly dawns our wedding day. Joyous how we give thee greeting. Whither art thou fleeting? Fickle moment, prithee stay. Fickle moment, prithee stay. What thou mortal joys be hollow. Pleasures come if sorrows follow. Oh, the tocsin sound ere long. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong. Yet until the shadows fall over one and over all. Sing a merry madrigal. Sing a merry madrigal.
thank you all. So we're going to sing Hail Poetry next, and there was a video that was put together. Allie sort of spearheaded this, where we invited as many people as we could to submit a virtual song, and we recorded virtually, and then it was assembled into a Hail Poetry video. So we're going to be using this, hopefully in the future, as a recruitment tool for UMGASS. But, so we're going to play that, and we all can sing along. But before we do that, I want to thank two people who are here. Well, actually, I want to thank the entire 75th committee for making this happen and helping out, doing everything, finding you, which was not an easy task. Oh, oh thank you so much. My trophy. And also I want to thank Bill Hall in the back, who, as it happens, is my husband's college freshman roommate, and who is doing the videography and the live streaming of this event. And Fred Estabrook, who is part of our committee but has kept me clearly on track for this event by managing the video on the screen. So thank you both for keeping me together. Okay, so now let us sing Hail Poetry. It's page 62, I'm sure, this time. It can be found in your songbook, and when we're ready, Fred can cue us up. So my farewell to you is, last night I drove home and I was thinking about what UMGASS made UMGASS special to so many of us. And simply stated, it brings us joy. The joy of singing, the joy of creating beautiful costumes and sets, of camaraderie on stage and off, of lifting our spirits at the end of a hard day, of fun you can be proud of. Thank you all for sharing that joy this weekend, and may you carry it with you always. So to the memory rooms, third floor, Henderson room. It'll be open for till probably close to 8. So